Hey guys, welcome back to 8 Ball Sports, a post-game analysis for the Maryland and Texas 2018 opener for each team. And if you, this is kind of deja vu. I made one of these last year for this exact game, Texas-Maryland, because at the time a lot of people were calling this an upset. Obviously, last year Texas went on to have a season, 7-6. But at the time, last year, Texas was ranked. But Maryland came in, beat them 51-41, and I made a video over it, and it was actually one of my most popular post-game analyses. I don't know how to say that. The plural of analysis. One of my most popular ones from the 2017 season. So, not a good start to Tom Herman's second year with Texas, and I'm an Ohio State fan. And if you're wondering, why are you making a video over Texas and Maryland? I love college football. I say this in every video, but I know if I don't say it in one video, I'm going to get the comments about, oh, well, you're just an Ohio State fan. You just hate us. You just hate them. No, I keep these videos as unbiased as possible. Now, if it is an Ohio State video, obviously I'm going to be biased, but I keep them as if I'm just giving a middle of the road view. I'm looking at this side, I'm looking at that side, and I'm speaking what I see, and telling you what I think each team could do better, what they did well in today's game. But yeah, so that's why I do these. If you're wondering, Tom Herman, rough start to his second year. He was already kind of on the hot seat, and that's crazy to say because last year was his first year. Can't really expect too much from a first-year coach, but Texas's fan base wants to win now, understandably so. They've had a history with winning, and they want to get back to those glory days. And I do think Herman can lead them there, but it's not a good start, losing to a Maryland team that didn't have their head coach. Now, I will give them Maryland played with a lot of heart today. They played, and I'm sorry, I do not know the kid's name, the offensive lineman that died for Maryland. And is the reason DJ Durkin is on his administrative leave or whatever. That died after, I think he was overheated in practice, had a stroke or something. I don't know all the facts, so please don't hate on me for that. But Maryland played with a lot of heart. I really liked what they did to open up the game with the putting 10 guys out there, leaving that right guard spot open. And then, of course, Texas being very polite as well, declining the penalty. And that was very it was very emotional. And Maryland played with that emotion. They played and they used that emotion to fuel them to another upset. Back-to-back seasons where Maryland has started their season with an upset. Do I think Maryland is going to be winning the Big Ten? No, but they could make a bowl game. I don't know what they did. I don't know their final record last year. I don't believe they made a bowl game, but they could. Their team looked pretty solid. I thought they got good play from their defense. And they got pretty good play from their quarterback and offense. Now, when I was looking for the stats, I obviously know Ehlinger is Texas's quarterback, and I forgot the name of Maryland's quarterback. I don't know all these players. This isn't. I don't keep up with these teams. Every day in, day out. I don't know all their depth, the entire depth chart. So when I looked to look at the stats, for some reason it wasn't showing me individual stats. It was just showing me team stats. When I went to individual stats, it was saying not available, even though obviously the game's done. Why aren't they available? I don't know. I wanted to get this video out as soon as possible, so I just wrote down the total stats. But the main quarterback for Maryland, the main quarterback for Texas, Sam, I believe, Ehlinger, who is he's going to be, I think he's a really talented quarterback. He's got a really strong arm, but he's questionable the decision-making at times. I really felt like on that last possession, Maryland really wasn't sending any pressure. And this can also be kind of blamed on the offensive line for not being great all game and not being great in that final moment. But Ehlinger he was moving out of the pocket too quickly. He could have stayed in the pocket longer, sat in that pocket, wait for the throw to come to him, or wait to a receiver, to get open. Now, if obviously you feel pressure, but there were certain situations where I felt like he didn't have to escape the pocket, and he did. And that's just he's a true sophomore, so he's only 19, 20 years old at this point. So he's going to be making those inexperienced mistakes. But if you're a Texas fan, he's going to be a good quarterback. He has the potential. Obviously, I think you'd want him to do it this year, but you may have to wait a year or two more. So, passing department, Maryland 264, Texas 263. Even game. when it comes to passing yards for each team. Rushing, this is where a big difference, and I actually went back and watched the video last year, and this was a big difference in last year's game. Maryland won the rushing battle last year, and they won the rushing battle 264 to 142 this year. Texas has not had a good run game in quite some time. Really, they never had a really strong running back since Charlie Strong. They did have that one dude. I think he's a Texan now. I think so. And, he put up good numbers, but I really feel like they have not had a solid run game in quite some time. They didn't have one last year in Herman's first year, and they didn't. 142 yards isn't bad, but it's not great either. They did not get great production, and their passing game was okay. Maryland, though, 264 passing, 264 rushing, a completely even game. The interim or acting head coach, whatever you want to call him, really did play. Use the game plan the right way. He kept the ball game even. He run pass, maybe 2 passes in a row, then a run, and they relied on their defense to make some plays, which the defense picked them up for. So 10 penalties for Texas, 7 for Maryland. It's the first game of the college football season. There's going to be tons of penalties. Not tons, but there's going to be plenty of penalties. You don't want personal foul penalties or roughing the passer, late hits, unnecessary roughness, stuff like that, because that obviously can be fixed before week 1. But stuff like false starts or maybe a guy getting too antsy and jumping off sides on defense, it's bound to happen. Delay of games are bound to happen because you're still trying to find the chemistry for your team. So 10 penalties, not necessarily terrible for Texas. That's not bad for the first game of the season. But here's the big 0 turnovers for Maryland. They played a very clean game, and Texas had three key turnovers in their game. 2 interceptions in the last 6 minutes, which I actually kind of had to watch bunches of this game because the Ohio State game was delayed. So I flipped over to this game while the delay was going on. And then this game got delayed, so I flipped back over to the Ohio State game and finished that out. Flipped back over to this game with basically the fourth quarter left. And, Ehlinger made a really good play on that last hurrah drive. It was the 4th down play. He stepped up in the pocket, kind of floated one to his receiver. And the receiver made a nice catch. They convert on it. And Maryland's defensive scheme kind of was me questioning. They weren't really sending anybody in pass rush, and there was still a minute and a half left. And Ehlinger had shown his ability to be able to throw the ball downfield accurately. But it worked out for Maryland. They forced a 3rd and 10, and they forced their second interception in that time because they got one back about 6 minutes to go when Ehlinger's arm was hit trying to throw, and it kind of bobbled, was spiraling out of control out of his arm right into a safety linebacker's hands, I think. So, what does this mean for either team? If you're Maryland, again, I kind of already addressed this part of the video, but obviously you're not in a great situation with your head coach and Durkin, and obviously you're a very emotional team with the loss of a teammate. But you guys had a pretty solid game. Your quarterback looked good. Your running game looked good. You had that one dude who was caught, ran for, and passed a touchdown, which is something you don't see every day. So you have playmakers. I do believe Maryland could be a middle-of-the-road Big Ten team and end the season with 6, maybe 7 wins. Beating teams that maybe have lost to. Maybe pulling off an upset here or there. Maybe beating a Nebraska or a Northwestern, maybe teams they aren't expected to beat normally. Maybe even a Michigan State. I don't know if they play Michigan State, but I do believe they can maybe pull off that upset. For Texas, I think Charlie Strong's record, if I'm correct, was 16-21, and Herman's last year was 7-6. Not how you want to start off the second year of Tom Herman's head coaching career here at Texas, but it also, you can't expect to go 12-0. I don't think anyone picked Texas to go to the playoffs, and if you did, then you're probably a biased Texas fan. I see Texas ending the year with 8 or so wins, maybe beating one of those powerhouse teams. I think they could contend with West Virginia in the Big 12. I don't think they'll beat Oklahoma. I could see them beating any other team in the Big 12. I think it goes Oklahoma is the top tier, TCU, West Virginia, and then maybe Texas, and then kind of the rest of those teams funnel in underneath there. Oklahoma State had a good year last year, so I probably should put them up there somewhere too. And if I'm forgetting a team, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to flip through all the Big 12 teams in my head right now. I wanted to keep these videos a little quicker than last year, but they're going over 10 minutes. But I see Texas being another middle-of-the-road Big 12 season. If they had come out, they had dominated this game, I'd say they have a decent chance to maybe pull off the upset and win the Big 12, or at least win their side of the Big 12. Although I think they actually are on the same side as Oklahoma. Or did the Big 12 just take the top 2 teams? That'll be my question in the comment section. If you're a Texas fan, I know the Big 12 has a championship game now. Do they split it into 2 divisions, or do they just take the top 2 teams? I don't know, because most like ACC, Big Ten, SEC, they take, they have an East and a West, and the 2 top teams from those sides play each other in the championship game. But I don't think they split them into divisions. Let me know, Texas fans. I'd really appreciate that. But I could see them. Sounding like thunder. I could see them. By the way, so many games went into weather delay today. The West Virginia-Tennessee game just went into a weather delay, and of course the Ohio State and this game I'm talking about right now also did as well. But I could see Texas being a middle-of-the-road Big 12 team. I think their future is bright. I feel like Texas fans have probably gotten sick and tired of hearing that since basically Colt McCoy. Everyone's kind of been saying after they had that down year, your future's bright. You've got all these young guys coming up. I do still think it's bright. Trust in Herman. I do believe Herman can lead you back to a Big 12 championship, maybe a national championship. But I don't think it's going to be this year. You lose to Maryland week 1. I just don't see it happening. That's my analysis for this game. If you agree, disagree with me, let me know in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, please hit that thumbs up button. It really would mean a lot. And if you want to see more post-game analysis videos for the 2018-2019 college football season, I'll be posting a couple more today. I already posted the Ohio State-Oregon State one today earlier, so go check that out if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated, and you don't want to miss any more of my videos. And I'll catch you guys later.